Welcome to Bible in a Year, day 229. Today we read at Jeremiah 35 through 37. Sometimes the timeline in Jeremiah gets confusing. Jeremiah is not written in chronological order. The order is exactly how God intended, but it's not chronological. Yesterday we were reading in the time period when the king of Judah, Zedekiah, the final king of Judah prior to and during the exile of Judah to Babylon. Today we rewind a couple of kings to the king Jehoiakim to learn about the Rechabites. The Rechabites were a nomadic Israelite clan who fled to Jerusalem to escape the Chaldeans as Babylon began taking over territories. They had been commanded by their father, Jonadab, not to drink wine, not to build houses, and to have no vineyards and no field of seed. Upon their arrival to Jerusalem, Jeremiah offered them wine, and they declined, explaining their obedience to their father. The Lord asked Jeremiah to say to Judah, "While the Rechabites obey their earthly father, you choose to disobey your heavenly Father. The disaster that will befall you is not because you couldn't obey me, it's because you didn't." In chapter 36, we learn who actually scribed the book of Jeremiah. God instructs Jeremiah to write on a scroll all that God has spoken and the disaster that will come upon Judah. So Jeremiah dictated to Baruch to write on the scroll. Then, because Jeremiah was forbidden to go into the house of the Lord, Baruch read the scroll in the house of the Lord in the hearing of all the men of Judah. When the officials heard it, they told Baruch and Jeremiah to go into hiding, and they read the scroll to King Jehoiakim, who burned it. At God's command, Jeremiah dictated the words to Baruch a second time. Chapter 37 jumps back to King Zedekiah. Jeremiah is falsely accused of defecting to the Chaldeans and is imprisoned. King Zedekiah secretly asks Jeremiah for a word from the Lord. Jeremiah says, "You shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon." Jeremiah also pleads with the king that he was innocent, and while the king did keep him in prison, Jeremiah was placed in the court of the guard and given bread to eat. Thus, Jeremiah's life was spared. Tomorrow we will read Jeremiah 38 through 40 and Psalms 74 and 79. Have a blessed day.